speakers and I would request all the speakers and role bearers to prefix their role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. All speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start their speech. Request the speakers to also confirm if they can see their timer cards before starting the speech. I would request you not to type in the chat box when speaker is speaking, as it disturbs the speaker. You can use the private chat option to provide any feedback. Do not click on share screen unless and until required for your role. You can display a high five or namaste, or you can use emotions or smileys to upload all the speakers as and when required. You can connect with the Zoom master if there are any technical glitches. This meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservations, you can let us know before the start of your speech and we can stop the recording. Please turn off your cell phones or keep them in silent mode while you are speaking. Otherwise, Zoom master will keep you on mute. So that should not be a problem. 3 ways for giving an applause. You can, give a silent clap while keeping your video on, or you can use the thumbs up button or a high five symbol when you want to provide the feedback. Now, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome our today's presiding officer of the club. Just to give a short introduction of her, she has been an ex-presiding officer for this club. She has won a lot of accolades. During her tenure, she's also won us the Distinguished Toastmasters Award. Please join me in welcoming our presiding officer for the day, Toastmasters Sudha Warrior. Over to you, Sudha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Brijesh. A very good morning to everyone. I would just suggest if we all can put our videos on. First of all, we have come from a physical meet to a virtual meet. So let us at least see each other's faces, smiling faces, and enjoy this couple of hours that we're going to be giving to each other. Good morning, everyone. So yes, February is the second month of the year, and also probably the second last month of a financial year. So we have a lot of reasons why February is important in our lives. So it's not different for me as well, because I actually joined my present job in the month of February. And it was my first job in Bombay. I finished the interviews with my business head, which was a CEO, and the HR, and everything went on smoothly. And I was heading to meet the promoters. And they did call me for the meeting. Yes, it was in the month of Feb. And when I was walking into the conference room, before I walked into the conference room, I was made to sit in the lobby, and they said, yes, Ms. Sudha Warrior, love is expecting you. So I was jinxed. I said, who is this love? Right? And he said, I'm obviously, for the reason that I'm new to the environment, I should not ask cheeky questions. Let me get absorbed into the environment to be confident of doing so. So I just kept quiet and just asked her once again, so did you say love? Yes, love is going to be seeing you shortly. And I was more excited. I said, maybe this organization is so, enterprising in terms of human interaction and stuff like that, that they're actually going to give me interaction with love as an emotion. So yes, I was imagining all the possibilities that it could happen, maybe a bouquet of roses, a box of chocolates, and also was my, extent of imagination. And I waited. And yes, love did make me wait for about 15 minutes. So now love doesn't come to people so easily. Sorry. And if it comes, you have to wait for it. You have to wait for the opportune moment. Now, see, the universe is giving me messages and I'm taking it. Okay. I mean, I'm just giving you the journey in terms of how love and I interacted. And then afterwards, the time came and I was ushered into the conference room. And I walked into the conference room and I was expecting really a heart-shaped person sitting there and actually wanting to shake my hands. Yes, it was love. But in this case, it was love, Mr. Love. It is LAV. And my disappointment was so bad. And the HR said, "This is love." I said, "Okay, it doesn't look very lovely, but yes, okay, fine. I will be happy with this particular love in this organization." And he was one of the chairmen, not one, he's the chairman. And I had the opportunity to meet him as well. So, what I'm trying to say is if you put a synonym to the whole experience and you want to really narrate it, it is about love, the expectation that you have that it's coming to you. Look at the jubilation, even the word love brings to you, because it is such a positive emotion. It's an emotion which charges you up so much. And we all have reasons to celebrate it in the month of February. Like I said, we all must have finished celebrating Valentine's. As far as I'm concerned, I don't spend money on merchandise just because it's Valentine on the 14th Feb. But yes, youngsters have to go through the grit of experiencing love and rejections till you come to the realization that that's what life is all about. Life can be a Valentine every day. So with that, I think I welcome everyone to this wonderful meeting. And I must say, it has been a change at the last minute. But when I saw the poster today, it did come a little late, but when I saw the poster, I said I have to make it for the meeting and try my best to usher this lovely person who's going to take us through this journey. And who else but the smiling, ever loving, ever patient, and the best grammarian we have in town is going to conduct this beautiful meeting of sprinkled with love, and we are all looking forward to it. So let us all put our hands together and welcome our dear president, Toastmaster Misha. Yay, Misha.
Thank you, thank you so much, ma'am, for all the love you have given me. And I've been lucky enough to experience the real love which you were expecting on your first day. But I was blessed with all that love. So thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed with it.
The
And
stage is all
ma'am,
yours.
I also started my first job in Mumbai in February 2 years back. So it is a nice coincidence, and I'm very happy that it happened with you. So thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Misha D'Souza, and I am going to be the team mod for today's meeting. Today's meeting is special in many ways, as it is our first physical meeting of the year. First meeting filled with love of the year 2023. And it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all who have joined us today. I'm ecstatic to be the Toastmaster of the day, as I have taken up this role after a gap of almost 2 years. It was in 2021, I was last team mod, and then today this is happening. So, and to be very honest, it feels like I'm doing this for the first time. So I'm equally happy and nervous. But since it's home, it's my home club, it is my second home, and you are all my family. So it is more of a happy experience than that of a nervousness. But okay, I'm happy for all of it. I really appreciate all of you who have taken the efforts to join us and be a part of a Toastmasters meeting on a Sunday morning. Love. Love does not need to be perfect, it just needs to be true. Yes, this is the most beautiful and relatable quote I have ever read and heard about love. Similarly, our efforts need to be true more than perfect. Anything being true has more value than being perfect. Just like us and our efforts to come to this meeting. It shows we love ourselves to make efforts to bring ourselves and also to take up roles and responsibilities. So, this is our first step towards self love. Love has many forms, starting from self and ending nowhere because it is true. True love never ends. It is pure and it is unconditional. So from all the words I've said now, I'm sure you are now acquainted with today's theme of the day, which is love. And since this is so-called the month of love, so we decided why not begin this with the most beautiful emotion of all emotions. Although love is not just for a day or a month, it is eternal. But this is a symbol of beginning of love. Love, when it is true, does not come alone, but it brings along with it respect and acceptance. Love loses its meaning if there is no respect or acceptance. When we say love, most people always relate it to the romantic version of love. But how can we limit such a beautiful emotion to just one version? When love is endless, its version, expression, reception, and perception will all be endless, and so will be the people and the creatures who give and receive it. And I said creatures because it's not just limited to human beings, but to the whole nature, to animals, to plants, and everything that God has created. Victor Hugo had once said, life is a flower of which love is the honey. So I guess he has beautifully described the vitality of love in life. Somehow I found a lot of quotes to be connected to love directly or indirectly. We all crave love. There is nothing more important than love. You must have heard of the quote, charity begins at home. And we are our own homes first. Our bodies are our homes and our hearts and minds, where our hearts and minds live. So we have to give the charity of love to ourselves, and only then we will be able to give love to others truly. It is like the safety instructions on the flight journey, which says help yourselves first to help others. Similarly, we have to love ourselves first to love others completely, truly, and respectfully. It is imperative that I tell you that love is synonymous of respect, and respect is synonymous of love. When we say everything is fair in love, I don't quite agree with it. Because if you say that everything is fair, then it includes a lot of unfair things. So love is never unfair and love is never unjust. So always keep that in mind. If it's true and if the love is true, your feelings will come with truth and acceptance. There is more and a lot more to talk and express when it comes to love. But now it is time for me to move on and go ahead with the meeting and tell you about the Toastmasters meeting. After all, it is our love for the public speaking and love for Toastmasters that has encouraged all of us to gather here today. Each Toastmasters meeting has 3 sections. First is the prepared speech section, where the members come and present prepared speeches in accordance to their pathways, levels, and projects. Second is the table topic session or the impromptu section. At Toastmasters, we encourage everyone to speak without hesitation. And hence, this is a fun and interactive session where all the interested members as well as guests get a chance to give impromptu speeches. Third is the evaluation, because without proper evaluation, failure is inevitable. So we have the speech evaluators and our general evaluator giving us detailed evaluation for us to understand and improve ourselves. Every Toastmaster meeting is incomplete without a tag team. This tag team comprises of the timer, the counter, and the grammarian. As important it is to know when to speak and how to speak, it is equally important for us to know when to stop. Well begun is half done, and all's well that ends well. So here we see the importance of starting and stopping at the right moment. And for this, we have a timer. Brijesh, our timer today, will take us through the timing guidelines and help us understand the importance of time and timer in a Toastmasters meeting. So now I hand over the stage to our timer, Toastmaster Brijesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Misha D'Souza. It has been a lovely start to the meeting. I am sure, the theme of the day is very exciting, and I am already, getting excited on what more we have over here. Yes, good morning, everyone. So today, along with Sa, I am also your timer for the day. As timer, I'll be helping speakers to express their thoughts within the allotted time limits. My duty will be to time the prepared speeches, the evaluations, and the table topic sessions for the meeting. To help me perform my duty, I'll have set of 3 cards: a green card, yellow card, and red card. So when the meeting starts, I'll share my screen. Just give me a moment. I'll also showcase it right away. So just a minute. Yes, so I am sharing my screen. So for the prepared speeches, the green card will come at 5 minutes, which indicates the minimum qualifying time. The yellow card will come at 6 minutes, which is the target time. A red card will be shown at 7 minutes, which is the maximum allotted time. We also have a buffer of 30 seconds on both the sides for prepared speeches. Today, we are also going to have an icebreaker speech. For ice-breaking speech, the green card will be shown at 4 minutes, a yellow card will be shown at 5 minutes, and red card will be shown at 6 minutes. Again, we have a buffer of 30 seconds on both the sides for an icebreaker speech. To speak about table topic time limits, we will again have a brief before the start of table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Brajesh. Now we have the R counter Toastmaster Sikandar, who will brief us about the technicalities and importance of having an R counter in a Toastmasters meeting. As it is not just about stopping, but also about pausing at the right moment in the right way, which makes or breaks a speech. So now I'd like to invite Toastmaster Sikandar. Over to you, Toastmaster Sikandar.
I hope I'm audible, Misha.
Yes. Yes, you are.
So thanks for the warm welcome, Toastmaster of the day, Misha. And I would like to second your opinion on the way you started the lovely meeting for today. And on a Sunday, we being a family together of a Toastmaster, we see that the love for public speaking and for the love of the our Toastmaster club, that we are all here on a Sunday morning, taking time out of the busy schedules. And as you mentioned, love is in there, it seems, with the meeting that we have provided. And I would also like to mention that I think the perfection of love is that it's not perfect. And the most beautiful part is that it's all about the feeling of love rather than being the part of love. So moving on to the guidelines now, my role as an counter is to record any unnecessary sounds used by the speaker or the role bearers. These include the crutch sound like filler words like but, so, okay, filler phrases, and so, and any extreme long pauses that the speaker might take. The crutch words or filler words obstruct the smooth flow of the speech and can be annoying for the listeners, as well as at the same time decrease the value of the speech. And as the counter, I will be recording all these words and presenting a report at the end of the meeting, so that this will help the speakers to improve in the coming sessions. Over to you, Misha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sikandar. And now we have the grammarian, which is personally my most favorite tag team role. And those who know me very well know how much I value this role and enjoy playing this role. As incorrect grammar can actually cost you a lot more than money or reputation. And trust me, you will resonate with me when we will see Toastmaster Tanmay, our grammarian for today, who will elucidate the vitality of grammar while speaking. So now I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Tanmay for giving us the grammarian guidelines. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Hi, good morning, all. Thank you so much, Misha, Toastmaster of the day for today. So first of all, I would like to thank you for picking this wonderful theme for today, which is love. And I think personally, it's one of the most beautiful emotions that human possess. And it's good that we are starting this meeting on a good note. And as Sikandar said, I would like to reiterate on the same point that it's just matter of love. And for that reason, we all of us have gathered here to, conduct this meeting. Love for our meeting or love for Toastmasters. So yeah, moving forward to guidelines. Just give me a second. Yes. So, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully to their language uses, good or bad. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding word or quotes, sayings, or thoughts that they use. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So, the word of the day is advent, which spells at ADVENT. Okay, which means what is happening? Yeah. So which means beginning of an event or invention of something or arrival of a person or a thing. So to give you an example, I would like to give you an example. Transportation was transformed by advent of internal combustion engine, or the other example would be in early 90s, India has just started to open up with multinational companies, with the advent of multinational companies coming into India to build a lot of business here. So yeah, I'll encourage every one of you to use the word of the day. And whenever a speaker or a role player uses the word, I'll like everyone to make a signified like this. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha.
Thank you so much, Tanmay. And with that, we move towards the advent of our meeting, towards the first section, that is the prepared speech section. Now that we are acquainted with the core values and the core functioning of Toastmasters meeting, we now move towards the first speaker. Our first speaker for today is the ever smiling, enthusiastic, positive speaker, Toastmaster Engelbert, who is delivering his L1 P4 speech for today and will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ashwin. I will now request Toastmaster Ashwin to please read out his speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Misha. Engelbert is going to give his from his pathway innovative planning level 4, project 1, which is managing project successfully. The purpose of the project focus on skills needed to effectively manage a project, develop good rapport with the stakeholders, investors, and cultivate strong relationship with the team. Over to you, Engelbert. Thank you. Sorry, Misha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwin. So, without further ado, let me welcome our first speaker, Toastmaster Engelbert. Toastmaster Engelbert, why education is beyond grades. Why education is beyond grades. Toastmaster Engelbert. All the best.
The topic so the topic is life is a
I'm
circus.
so sorry. I'm extremely sorry.
Yeah, don't worry, since 24 hours even Toastmasters has been there going through circus moment. And I think so every session we all are growing in this sometimes we are the ringmasters or sometimes we are the audience. Yeah, so yeah.
Hey, Engel. Yeah, before you start,
Please,
I'll just
please.
share my screen as a timer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
So, yes, let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, Brijesh, I can see.
Yeah. So, we should start now then. Over to you, Toastmaster Engelbert.
So the first question I would like to ask all of you is, how many of you all have, or just show hands, give me show of hands, how many of you all have been at least once for a circus, live circus? Okay, it's all, I think 90%. Okay. And how many of you all remember at least something, at least one thing, what you liked about in the circus? If anybody would like to share with me anything, the smallest act or something. Yeah, you can just unmute yourself and whoever.
I like the acrobats that used to happen because it used to happen
Okay.
at a
Yeah. Height.
very significant height.
Height.
So it was very thrilling and fun to watch at the same time. And
Okay.
I used to
Sure.
love the colorful dresses they used to wear because I was
Colorful.
very
Okay.
little when I used to watch. So those colors were very appealing to me. So that is the all the memory I have of the circus
Thanks.
I have
Thanks.
seen in my life.
Thank you, Misha. Thank you. 2 points. Third point, anyone?
Yeah. So I'll take the lead. Unlike now where we have stand-up comedians, I think when I was very young, circus was a place, a common place where everyone would, just laugh with their hearts and they would enjoy everything. So that is something which attracted me, a place where everyone is happy.
Wow. So entertainment, basically entertainment. And we'll go to
Yes.
Sudha, ma'am, fourth.
Yeah, I think I used to be very, feeling very sad when animals would be brought to the circus in cages. And that would make me really scared. But then I used to enjoy the elephant interaction. They used to have this baby elephants and they used to make them do some such cute tricks. I used to love that. But when huge animals, wild animals were brought in a cage, we used to feel sad. But of course, they had to do it. But as a child, we don't like that emotion of being in a cage. So probably that's what I remember a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
So I think very good. So we got in a lot of points about our circus. That means we all remember if we have been in a circus, there's no ways that, we don't remember at least one thing because this has been a part of our childhood, most of our childhood. A very good morning to Toastmaster of the day and to all my fellow Toastmasters. My topic today is life is a circus. Why I'm specifying circus today is before I go even life is a circus, let me start with why this word circus is stuck in my mind since few months. Just few months back, I was watching live circus with my daughter, 6-year-old daughter. And the only thing is, whatever you all said just now, the 4 points, whatever you all said, that because of those flashbacks, I was not able to enjoy the circus as much as I enjoyed during my childhood. I was comparing it that where is the bear, where is the lion, where is the tiger, where is all these things. And those days, the height was even much more, and there was many more dangerous tricks like the fire and much now because of a lot of restrictions and rules and the PETA rules and all these things. Animals are only the dogs. Apart from dogs, you do not have any other animals. So I was slightly upset from inside, but I didn't show my, but the rest all was very good. Everything was good. But I was seeing my daughter, she was just enjoying because it was her first, it was a clean slate. So there was no expectation at all. Then I asked her at the end, did you like it? Then as usual, she said, yeah, very good. Then I asked her, will you come again if I get you? Then she said, why not? And that time was a eureka moment. I said, when you look at the eye of a child, from the eyes of a child, you will see a total different world. And I said, if one child is thinking like that, why not I transfer this to 60 more children? As you all are aware that we were supposed to have our venue today at Bosco Boys, so I thought, let me take, this circus, let me get those 60 boys, to watch circus because most of them have never seen circus. Not most, all of them have never seen. So I ventured out with a small project of taking these 60 children to the circus. But they say the devil's advocate, we always have split personality. The one side is the good side, which says, come, we'll go, we'll do this work, we'll do that work. The other side, look at your pocket or, it's the end of the month. How can you, you don't have, you yourself cannot take your daughter second time to circus. What you will take 60, So you always have this war or battle of mind. And then when I decided, let's make it this thing. At the most, I'll go alone. Yeah. So I just shared with some of my colleagues, some of my friends, and money started pouring in. In fact, we collected double the amount. And the funniest part or the most surprising part, which I cannot believe, is when we went to the circus to book 60 tickets, when they came to know it is an orphanage, they said, you give whatever you want, and to cut short all the drama part or all the circus part. The best thing is we got so many donors, and even the circus organizers gave us so many free goodies and so many things to the kid. All in all, what I really thought is the circus starts with your mind. You know, you always have the juggling of thoughts. Should I do? Should I not do? Then it comes to your verbal, where you ask, where you tell people, where you share your idea. Then there's juggle of thoughts. Should we do it today? Should we do it tomorrow? Should we do it next year? Should we do, you know? So all in all, the learnings what I had is our life is always like a circus, adventurous and filled with risk. It's how we take it one by one. And I would like to end by saying a quote: true love stories never have endings. And so is our life, and so is the theme, and so is our Toastmasters journey. Thank you.
That was a very beautifully crafted, neatly delivered, and a thought-provoking speech by Toastmasters Engelbert. So kudos to Toastmaster Engelbert on such an effortless performance and something which touched us because we all related to it at some level. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Engelbert. Would the timer like to give the timing report now, or will you give it later?
Hey, Misha, I'll share the timing report at
Later.
the end. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So moving on, our next speaker is the sweet and adorable Toastmaster Ravi Raj, who has taken the responsibility of self-love by giving the icebreaker speech. I am really ecstatic to have you as a speaker because you will be breaking the ice today, and I hope to see many more of your speech in the future. As his evaluator, Toastmaster Tanmay will now be sharing his speech objectives with us. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Sure, Misha, thank you. So it's my pleasure to introduce our second speaker for the day, which is Toastmaster Ravi Raj. He has chosen the pathway Persuasive Influence, and this is level 1, project 1. As part of his journey to become a proficient speaker, he'll be delivering his first speech, that is the icebreaker speech. And the title of the speech is Ups and Downs of Life. Timer, please make a note that the speaker would be given 4 to 6 minutes to complete his speech. And I wish him all the very best for his first speech. Over to you, Misha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanmay. So, Toastmaster Ravi Raj, Ups and Downs of Life, Ups and Downs of Life, Toastmaster Ravi Raj. All the best.
Hey, Ravi Raj.
First of all, I would like to say it is a very beautiful theme of today, and I would thank for such a beautiful introduction of mine. Thank you so much.
Sure, Ravi Raj. Before you start, I just want to check with you. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start the timer once you are ready. Good to go?
Oh yes. Yes.
Okay, sure. Then I'll start the timing guidelines. Timer.
So if I give you all a choice of being smart or being beautiful or good looking, what will you choose between these two? I guess that most of you will pick up being smart, right? Because we have been told that beauty is just skin deep and a load of other things. But can you imagine being smart and ugly at the same time? Good morning to fellow Toastmasters. My name is Ravi Raj and I was born and brought up in Mumbai. In my childhood, I was a very bright student and studying was my hobby. Yes, you heard it right, studying. If you ask a 7-year-old child that, hey buddy, what are your hobbies? Studying. What? Yes, that will be your reaction if it is studying, right? We can imagine that at that age, playing can be a hobby or watching TV can be a hobby. But that's who I was. I liked studying very much, and I liked reading books. By seeing my interest in studies, my tuition teacher introduced me to my mentor, Ujjwala Rane ma'am, because of whom I developed a keen interest in aptitude and mathematics. She taught me for various different competitive exams of mathematics, and I cleared them one by one. So I got various awards and certificates uh, because of that, clearing that exams and due to my exceptional aptitude skills. That were the glorious days of my life. But as said by for Indian football team captain Sunil Chhetri, that when you have too many successful years in your life, you are this much close to your first failure. And when you have faced too many failures in your life, you are this much close to your success. So from second standard to seventh standard, that were the glorious days of my life. I was cracking different examinations, receiving awards and recognition in my school. And like I was at the top of the world. Like it was when I was in sixth standard, I used to solve the problems of ninth standard. That's how strong my maths was. But soon the sun of my success sat, and the advent of my failure began. When I was in my eighth standard, I was infected by vitiligo and psoriasis. These two are those skin diseases in which I got white patches all over my body, and suddenly I started looking very ugly. My parents had tears in their eyes, and everybody looked at me with sympathy. But I took treatment from various doctors, but all the medicines and all the treatment, all in vain. Even I was not able to look at myself in the mirror, and I went into depression for a long time because of that. But one fine day, I decided in my mind to cure myself. And consequently, my aunt told that there is a dermatologist to which she was going and recommended me to go to him. I went to the doctor and I started taking his medications, and with whole heart and 100% belief in my mind, I decided to cure myself. Slowly but surely, I started seeing positive results in my health. That grew my confidence, and because of that, I focused more on my studies, and I was able to crack JEE Advanced, which is the second toughest competitive exam in India, in just 4 months of my preparation. And I secured a seat in one of the most prestigious college of science called ISO Bhopal. So to conclude my speech, I want to say just a thing that life is full of ups and downs, and in our good days, we should not forget our humble beginnings. And when the days turn bad, we should just stay calm and believe in ourselves, and you will see your transformation with your own eyes. So thank you very much.
That was a lovely speech written with love and delivered with true efforts and sincerity. Congratulations, Toastmaster Raviraj. And as it's a tradition in our club to give standing ovation to all the members who have given their icebreaker speech. So I urge everybody to please give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Raviraj.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you, Toastmaster Raviraj. That was a very, very beautiful speech. And we are very happy and we are proud of you for all your struggles, that you overcame all these struggles and you have found a triumph. So all the very best for all your future endeavors as well. And we look forward to having not just the icebreaker today, but all your other speeches. We hope to see you completing your pathways. So good luck for that as well. Well,
Thank you,
after
Misha.
such a you're most welcome. After such a mind-blowing prepared section, we now move on to the second phase of our Toastmasters meeting, which is the table topic session. Well, before that, we have a timer who will be sharing the timing report for the speeches, followed by our acting VP Ed, Toastmaster Brijesh, who will share with us the plan of action decided by the newly formed ExCom meeting for the tenure from January to July 2023. So we request you to kindly be attentive while this plan is shared, and we are here to welcome any inputs which you think we can include for the betterment of this club and its members. So over to you, Toastmaster Brijesh, who is the timer as well as who will be presenting the announcements for the ExCom and for the tenure of January to July. Over to you, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Misha. So before we proceed, I'd just like to call out the timings for the prepared speeches. So both the speakers have qualified. The timing for speaker one, which was Toastmaster Engelbert, was 6 minutes and 29 seconds. Timing for speaker two, Toastmaster Raviraj, it was 5 minutes and 24 seconds. And Raviraj, let me tell you, it was an awesome speech from your end. I feel very inspired, how you overcame all the challenges in your life and came back very strongly. Thank you. Next, as our Toastmaster of the Day has mentioned, we at the advent of new ExCom committee, we have some plans and we would like to share them with you. So I'll share my screen and I'll just run it through you guys so that you all are aware of what the plans are. And as our Toastmaster of the Day has mentioned, we are open for all the feedbacks and suggestions and would like to incorporate them in our schedules. Yeah. So team, just give me a minute. I'll share my screen and run you through our plans. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Just let me know if it's visible. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So 4 points which I want to talk about. And before I talk about them, let me tell you, we'll be reiterating them and also adding on to new plans. So we'll keep everyone posted. So a sincere request from my end would be, everyone please try and join as many meetings as possible so that you are aware of what's going on in the club and what all new things we are coming up with. So let me start the first thing, Toastmasters of the month. So we have now decided, we want to have a Toastmaster of the month for our club. So how the points system will work, I'll run it through you. And we also have some exciting rewards for it. And I'll talk about that as well. Before going to that, let me just give you a short story, why is it required? So every one of us is coming to the Toastmasters meeting to improve our public speaking as well as leadership skills. Now, while we complete our pathways, we take up roles. We just decided, why not start awarding people who are very active and who are taking up multiple roles, who are also delivering prepared speeches that will act as a motivation for you all to, because there is a reward at the end of every month, you can become the Toastmaster of the month. So that is why we have came up with this concept. Now just give me a, hello. Sorry, okay. So let me just explain you how the point system will work and what all you can do to reach that title of Toastmaster of the month. Yeah, just a moment. I am resharing my screen. I hope it is visible. Yes, anyone can
Yes, it is
acknowledge.
visible.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So these are the 9 roles which will help you win points. And as everyone is familiar, the Toastmaster with the highest number of points collected at the end of the month will be the Toastmaster of the month. And the point system, how it will work. So if you deliver a prepared speech, which Toastmaster Engelbert and Toastmaster Raviraj has delivered today, you will get 10 points. If you take up the role of Toastmaster of the day, which our presiding officer Misha has taken up, she wins 10 points for that. If you take up the role of evaluators, which Toastmaster Ashwin and Toastmaster Tanmay have taken up, you again win 10 points. If you take up the role of a table topic master, which Toastmaster Shreyansh has taken today, you win 8 points. If you take up the role of timer, which yours truly has taken today, so you will win 5 points. If you take up the role of R counter, which Toastmaster Sikandar has taken up, you again win 5 points. If you take the role of grammarian, which Toastmaster Tanmay has taken, you again win 5 points. If you take up the opportunity to speak in the table topic session, we give you 5 points. And we also reward you for attending every session. So there are a lot of points up for grabs. I would urge and request every one of you to take up roles and also attend the meeting so that you can increase your points and you can win the Toastmaster of the month. And that will get you lots of rewards. Obviously, as you go and speak, even without the rewards, there's a lot to learn when you take up different roles. That's the by default reward. Along with that, we'll also create a poster of yours. We'll give you a virtual certificate and tag you on LinkedIn. Now, how that's helpful? A lot of people here have a corporate job as well. You have taken up this Toastmaster journey to improve your public speaking and leadership skills. How good it would be, when you get a mention on your LinkedIn profile that you have been the Toastmaster of Month for our club and you are trying your best to improve your public speaking skills and you are on the correct path. All your colleagues and your reporting manager will be able to look into it, and I'm sure you will definitely be rewarded for it. Along with that, there are some more exciting rewards which we are coming up with, and we'll want you to keep you weighted. I want that excitement in, and in the succeeding sessions, we'll talk more about other rewards as well. Also, if you look into it, we are we want to promote you to complete your pathway. So we are giving the highest points for prepared speeches. We want you to become good evaluators and win competitions at district level. So we are giving highest points for evaluations as well. And for Toastmaster of the day, which Toastmaster of the day role requires the maximum preparation as far as role bearers is concerned. So again, we are rewarding that with the highest points. So guys, I'll take a pause. If anyone has any questions, happy to answer that. And if you want some time to absorb this, you can always reach out to me or the XCOM committee for any of your questions, and we'll surely clarify. Yes, I'll just
Brijesh.
take a moment. Yes, Ashwin, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the most challenging part for me is to prepare for a speech, right? A prepared speech. If you ask me, my suggestion would be to just give little bit higher points to the speakers, because that needs a lot of effort.
Sure, Ashwin. Let me just note it out. We'll discuss it in the XCOM, and we'll let you know what our call is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Overall,
For
this is yeah, I like this concept. It means this will really motivate people to be an active participant in the meeting.
Sure. Anyone has any questions? Okay, so I'll take that as a no. Let me move ahead with other announcements.
Sorry to interrupt. So as you have seen, there are a couple of people who are taking multiple roles. So that would obviously be unfair to the delegation system or the system. So it would be a suggestion to just give the highest points among all the roles or what you have been taking. So just to keep it equal ground for all. So yeah.
So, Sikandar, your point is noted. We'll take this up in the XCOM meeting and come back. I'll just give my thoughts on this. Honestly, I would want, maximum people to participate in the meeting so that no one has to double head and take up multiple roles. If someone is actually going ahead and doing it, he's putting in real effort. So I believe we should award him. But we'll definitely consider your suggestion, have a discussion, and see how we can, work out the calculation and come back. Thank you for your suggestions.
And I would like to say that it's a great initiative you've came up with. So thanks a lot for that. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Thank you for it. Okay. So let me again reshare my screen. Just a minute. I think there's some problem. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. The next announcement is having 2 hybrid meetings every month. So what we have decided is we should be meeting twice physically every month because a lot of us have joined to eliminate stage fear, which is present in a virtual meeting as well. But a physical meeting has few more, stage fear, and talking to a live audience is definitely more difficult, and we want all of you to eliminate that fear. So we are we want to ensure that we meet at least twice every month. So going forward, that will be how the roster would be, and we'll let you know which are those 2 days of the month where we are going for a physical meeting, so that you all can mark your calendars and be present at the physical venue. Third, a lot of us have joined Toastmasters but are very reluctant to go on the Toastmasters website and see what all it has to offer. And I do understand everyone needs some guidance on how to access the session, what is available where. So what we have done is we'll get a seasoned Toastmaster of our club, and we will have him take a hands-on session. So in the next virtual meeting, he will showcase how to navigate the Toastmasters website, what all is available. We've been doing this as part of our induction program. So any new member who joins in is provided a session on this, but we just feel a refresher session will definitely be helpful. And then we'll see a lot of you making use of the Toastmasters website. So that is something we have planned for the next virtual session. And guys, the theme of the day is love. And we all are here for our love of public speaking. So how good it would be, if you also show us love on our social media channels. I would urge every one of you to follow us on our Instagram page, which is at Mumbai Speakers. I would urge you to follow us on our LinkedIn channel. We'll give you a shout out if you are the winner of the day. We'll give you a shout out if you are rewarded as Toastmasters of the month on LinkedIn. So that will help you, improve your visibility in the corporate environment. And we also would urge you to follow us on our YouTube channel. We go ahead and upload all our meetings there. So just in case there are some days where you will not be able to make out for some personal reason, you can go ahead and rewatch the video and take your learnings from there. So please show us some love and follow us on all our social media channels. So that will end the announcements for today. And let me just reiterate, we'll come back with more announcements, and we will always incorporate such small sessions in our every weekly meeting so that you all are up to speed on what's going on and what all you should be expecting in the coming months. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Brajesh, for very beautifully and properly showcasing all the announcements. We still have few more announcements to make, but in continuation that, I just want to say a few things. I urge all of you to please fill the Google forms we give out in the group. It is imperative and mandatory because that is helping us collect data. The more data we collect, the better we will be able to help you. Please tell your fellow Toastmasters to fill the form as well, because it is our club, our home, and we have to make efforts that everybody is making use of their membership. Okay. So I really request you all, please fill the Google forms, take the polls that we put in the group, because that helps us to understand the present scenario. And please read the messages in the group, acknowledge them, because we need that kind of acknowledgement so that we are aware how many members are there with us and how many members are not able to be actively participate in the in any meetings or in anything whatever we are holding or we are organizing. Also, we will be adding few more points to the point system. So we'll share the updated version in the next meeting. We will keep sharing this so that all of you are well acquainted with the pointing system and with the incentivization and the awards. Our Toastmaster Brajesh will help you with the details. You can reach out to us personally as well. We will be having a mentor-mentee session as well. I will elucidate that in the next meeting. So please try to make sure that you attend the meeting. We have the hybrid meeting set up just for you, so that you, even if you're not able to make it to the physical session, just try to be a part of in the hybrid mode, so that you are aware of all the developments that are happening in the club, because it is for your own good. Okay, we are trying to make it work as much as possible so that you are able to gain everything out of the membership you have paid for. Okay, after all, it's hard earned money, and we all need to respect that. Finally, I know all of us are very active on social media. At least we watch the reels, but I urge you all to please follow us and tag us also. Like today, like the meeting we had today, you can tag yourself with your story. If you're taking up a role, you can put in a story. You can tag us also. So we will share your story in our account, and that way we will have more engagement, and we would like to be a part of your account as well. So make us a part of your story, and we would like to share it. And please share our stories and our updates on your Instagram or your Facebook and LinkedIn. And please keep watching the YouTube channel videos, because sometimes when you tend to miss out, you might gain from watching those videos. So that is all for all the announcements. We will update you more in the next meeting. Moving on now is the fun part and my most favorite part. that is the table topic session. And our very own, the youngest member of our club, Toastmaster Shreyas, who instead of even though he has his exam, he has been kind enough to show up for the meeting, take up a role. And I really appreciate Shreyans for taking this effort, for being the Toastmaster, table topic master for today. And I'm really looking forward for a very fun session. I urge all of you to please participate and make this a success. So over to you, Toastmaster Shreyans, for the table topic session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Misha. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. As your table topic master, I am excited to introduce our theme, which is also all about love. We will be exploring different aspects of love through our impromptu speaking exercises. For me, love is the most powerful and complex emotion we can experience. It can bring us joy, happiness, and fulfillment, but it can also be challenging and painful. I'm excited to hear your own perspective on this fascinating topic. Did you know that Valentine is the second largest card and gift sending holiday in the world after Christmas? And the longest kiss lasted for 58 hours. Love can truly inspire amazing things. For those who are new to table topic session, this is an impromptu speaking session where the speaker is encouraged to speak for at least 1 or 2 minutes on a given topic. Remember, the most important thing is to have fun and to be creative. Now, I would like to call timer Toastmaster Bridges to give timing guideline for table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Bridges.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreyans. So everyone, I'll give you the timing guidelines. Let me just share the screen once again so that I can show you the timer clock. Yes. So for table topic sessions, we have a limit of 1 to 2 minutes. So 1 minute is the qualifying time, which will be indicated by green light. Yellow light will be shown at the target time, which is 1 minute and 30 seconds. Maximum time is 2 minutes, and that's when the red light will be shown. 2 minutes and 30 seconds is the disqualification time. So we have the 30-second buffer only at the upper end and not at the lower end. Over to you, Toastmaster Shreyans.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brijesh. As I can see, we have 10 members excluding me, and I also have 10 questions. So I am encouraging each and every speaker to just take part in it. Okay, so who's the first one?
I'll go first.
Okay, so Toastmaster Raviraj. I'll share my screen just for you to choose a topic, and then Toastmaster Brijesh can share the timing screen. Okay, so can I start?
Yes.
So your choice is 2, and the question is, which love song is your favorite and why? Toastmaster Raviraj, which love song is your favorite? Over to you.
Okay, so timing and all has started?
Yes.
So my question is like, which love song is my favorite, right? I listen to many love songs, and I am a very, very big fan of music. I listen to songs every day, and that is my favorite pastime nowadays. That from many years, that is my favorite pastime, to listen to songs, so that our mind gets relaxed because of it. And because of love songs, I personally enjoy very much listening to love songs. And my favorite love song is Mujhko Barsat Bana Lo. You must be knowing that song, right? Mujhko Barsat Bana Lo. एक लंबी रात बना गहरा सा राज बना लो जाना. So I like that song very much. It's my favorite one. And we know that everybody must have watched the movie Lagan, and we know what is the importance of rain, right? What is the importance of water in our life. And so that love songs also connects Barsat and all that feelings about us and water. So that's why I like that song very much. Thank you so much.
Whoa, very well said. And by adding more to this, I have listened to this song once when I was younger, but yeah, it was a good, good. Yeah, it's very nice song.
You're still
Okay,
young,
so
yes.
next, yeah, but more young, like between 5 to 10 years. And this July, I will turn 20, and I'm saying, oh my God, don't want to turn 20 at all. Okay, moving on. Next, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Yes.
Okay, so your choice is 8, and the question is, if you could only choose between a job that pays extremely well or a job that you are extremely passionate about, which would you choose and why?
Okay.
Over to
So
you, Toastmaster Brijesh.
yes, let me just share the screen again. Yeah, I'll first start the timer and then go ahead and talk about it. Good afternoon, everyone. So the question to me is, if I get a job which pays me a lot more as against a job which I'm very passionate about, what would I choose? Honestly, at the start of the career, I would go with the job which pays me the maximum possible. I'll tell you why. What happens is, at the start of the uh, job career, if you are in a role which pays you the highest money, the compounding will help you ensure you have a very good safety net for yourself. And once you prepare that safety net for yourself, you can then always go ahead and take a role which you are very passionate about. Also, life is all about exploration. So a lot of times we feel that I am passionate about some topic X, some topic Y, but when we actually go and try it, we realize, okay, this was just an infatuation. I am not that passionate about it, but this is something which I'm loving it. So over my career, which has now been 9 years, I've explored a lot of roles, and I've realized, the passion is something. Once you start working, there will be a change of passion, and you have to keep on exploring to ensure that you are finding your true love for the career you want to make into. I'll just borrow the thought from Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept. It tells you, you have to, your job should be kind of job, or your life should be a combination of something you love, something which pays you well, something which makes you happy, and something you are good at doing it as well. So eventually I would want to move on to that concept, so that I'm enjoying the life, I'm making money. Why like my question would be, why choose one when you have options for everything? Like, when you can get everything, why just settle for one? Over to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Shreyansh.
Yes, I truly agree with that. And they also say that the thing you are the most passionate about, you can do many more things in that field. Yes. Moving on, Toastmaster Ashwin. Brijesh, can you just stop
Yeah, I'll
sharing
just
your
stop
screen?
sharing.
Thank you. So, Toastmaster Ashwin, your question is, Have you ever had a crush on a celebrity? Who was it, and what would you do if you met them in person? Over to you, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you, Shreyans. So the question is, have I ever had a crush on a celebrity? And if I meet that person, what would I do? So yeah, definitely. I had a crush at every signal, I would say. So every time I see a new movie, new heroine coming in, and that was when I was in my teenagers, like between 17 to 25. Yeah, I like the crush I had was on Deepika Padukone, and I still like her. Not lately, but yeah. And if I get to meet her, I'll ask her a lot of questions that she's lately about her dressing sense in her movies lately, on the negative side, right? And I like her because not only she's a good actor, she's also a good sportsman, and she was a tennis player. Right? She comes from a humble background. The way she carries herself, I like the way she talks, the way she presents herself, and yeah, not in every occasion. She had been to some places which I don't like, where she didn't speak anything but still. So yeah, I would like yeah, my favorite celebrity would be Deepika Padukone, and if I meet her, I would ask her a few questions that are personal as well as something that I would like to know more about her. Thank you. Over to you, Shreyans.
I also want to add that after watching Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, she also became my crush. Okay, now moving on. Toastmaster Misha.
Yes.
So your question is, if you had to write a love letter to your favorite food, what would you say to it? To it. Over to you, Toastmaster Misha.
My favorite food?
Yeah, write a love letter to your favorite food, and what would you write in that letter?
Okay, this is very interesting since I'm a big time foodie. So thank you for this amazing question. And trust me, I have written captions like food is my day on my Instagram pictures with food all over. So it really makes me happy. And my love is pani puri. Like I can give anything, give up anything, but not pani puri. So my love letter to pani puri is thank you for being so perfect and loving me the way I have loved you because you never fail to disappoint me and you always make me happy and you respect my taste buds, which is the most important. And I love you forever and I will never stop loving you. My love is true and it will be there till eternity. So I love you, Pani Puri. Over to you, Shreyans.
Yeah, that was a very lovely one. I hope Pani Puri accept your proposal. Moving on. Who's next? Okay. Toastmaster Engelbert. 1 second. Just let me share my screen. Number 9. Okay, so Toastmaster Engelbert, your question is, what's the most impactful or inspiring book you have ever read and why did you love it? Over to you, Toastmaster Engelbert.
Inspiring movie.
Inspiring and most impactful book you have ever read and why did you love it?
Okay.
Over to you, Toastmaster Engelbert.
Thanks, Shreyans, for a very good, topic because quite few years, it's not, I could just say 2 to 3 years back only, I started falling in love with books. or probably I forced myself to fall in love with books. Yeah. And now I can see, reap the benefits of that. So the first book that I can remember where I actually read cover to cover was, I think, the most thinnest book I could uh, hold my hands, or I could hold it, and that's how I actually ended up reading it. It was not even 20 to 30 pages, and it was by one of the Bollywood actor, a small star. He's called Umesh Ferwani. It is called Are You Out of Your Mind? And the reason I like this book, till today I like that book, is because it speaks about personality, overall general personality, like how even smiling to a stranger, or probably a posture just like sitting straight, so all small things speaks volumes about your personality, about the vibes, and all the small things about his experiences, his struggle from an introvert to extrovert, and all these things. Journey is where I could connect, and I some of these exercises of, like, before public speaking, few exercise which you can do. So all those things I really could actually put to use, not only put to use, even in my training sessions I impart it to the students. So that's one of my favorite books. So it is Are You Out of Your Mind by Umesh Verwani. And the second book, which is again very close to me, is any books from Tony Robbins. Most of his books again are very motivational, and Robin Sharma, my all-time favorite, who's like these guys are very so practical in terms of, you can put. So yeah, thanks for the question, Shreyans.
Okay. Yes. Moving on, Toastmaster Akshay. Just let me share my screen. Number 7. So, Toastmaster Akshay, your question is, what's the most beautiful or awe-inspiring natural location you have ever visited, and why did you love it? Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay. Hello?
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, now.
All right, can we restart the time?
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Oh, yes, I got the question. All right. Good afternoon, each and every one of you. To share with you all what is the most awe-inspiring location or the natural location I've been to. For me, if I have to share this, it would be lush green coffee plantations and the tea plantations in the southernmost city of India, which is none other than God's own country, Joanna. Over there, I have been to Munnar so many times that one can never be, if they plan to stay in Munnar or plan to stay nearby any city in Munnar for 2 years. Let us all travel back to the year 2016 when I got my first job. It was not during February, but December of the end of the year. I got my first job in TCS and I was asked to go to Trivandrum city to get trained. And during the weekends, it was time to explore the city. And I have been to Munnar over the weekends, but after my training got completed, I was asked by the company to stay over there. With the advent of exploring a new team and ensuring that I am part of that team, I had to stay back. But during those days, all the people around me were all married, and my weekends were started to become boring. But I tried to find new groups and found few hikers, trekkers who used to visit Munnar often and decided to travel with them. You would not believe it was 15 times in 2 years I have been to Munnar. That is the most awe-inspiring natural beauty which I believe. The sunrise and the sunsets paints a different picturesque view which you will never be amazed every time you see it. So next time, if you all decide to visit Munnar, definitely remember to view the sunrise and sunset. Because life is a circus, right? Someday you might ice break, break your ice by sharing about yourself, or someday you might be just there at such a location which breaks your moment and becomes that natural awesomeness which you would like to share with everyone. So I hope I inspired and made every one of you visit and get that urge to visit Munnar. If not, nothing like it. Maybe you would have some other location. Back to you, Shreyansh.
Okay, Munnar, I have heard a lot about this place, and definitely in future I'll go there. Okay, so moving on, this was the last question of the meeting, and I hope of the session, and I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha.
Thank you, thank you so much, Shreyansh, for such a fun session. I was so ecstatic to be a part of this table topic session. You have actually brought in a lot of fun to this session of love, the fun-loving session to be very precise. So let us all give him a round of applause because Shreyansh, that was a very nice session, beautifully thought questions, and everybody was so candid about their responses. And to be very honest, my favorite was when Ashwin was blushing the whole time talking about Deepika Padukone. I'm sorry, but that was very sweet. So thank you, Ashwin, for giving us this nice moment. Okay, so moving on.
Just
Sorry.
to add, Shreyansh used to. I thought every participant will get a chance, so I just reached home because I was late, and I was just thinking that we will have but wonderful session and wonderful questions.
Sorry,
No,
because
you
of time
can have a
constraint,
question.
we'll have.
No, that's okay. If you want, we can have a question. It's not a problem.
No,
Shreyansh,
it's
do
okay.
we have
Okay,
a
so we
question?
can have one. So
Yes,
just
cool.
let's.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Let's have
Toastmaster Sarika,
Oh my,
just
he's
a
on.
second.
Because
Be careful. She's your aunt, right? So be careful there.
Yeah, yes. So for you, the question is, just a second. If you could only choose between having a date with the most humorous person in the world or the most adventurous person, who would you choose?
So are you asking me the choice between humorous and adventurous?
Most humorous person and the most adventurous person. Who would you choose?
You need to know how his uncle is and then answer it.
Yeah.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Shreyansh, for the lovely question. So I would choose actually a person with both humor and adventure. Sorry, but I cannot live without humor because I feel humor really adds a lot of fun element in the life and all. And adventure is my key thing. So I would choose for adventure definitely my husband, and of course he's a bit humorous also. But especially talking about adventure, I'm completely an adventurous person. I mean, I have done everything from skydiving to right down, going right down to the shore and swimming with the dolphins and everything. I mean, I've jumped from 15 feet. I've done bungee jumping. So I'm actually a very adventurous person. So I would love doing adventure because I always feel life is all about adventure. If you take risk, then only there is no risk, no pain, or no gain. That is the point. And once you start taking adventure, you actually overcome the fear, which I really like. Every time when I'm doing some adventure, I always think, kya hoga? Mar to nahi jayenge. Let's try it. That's the only thing that I feel. And just keep on exploring. I in fact like that moment when I challenge my own fear and actually move ahead. And when you accomplish that, joy is exactly what Akshay said, the sunrise and the sunset. I mean, nobody can sorry. Nobody can explain, what you feel when you achieve or overcome your fear. That moment when you finish a task of, or of some adventure is just out of the world. So yeah, I would definitely choose an adventurous person. Of course, with slight humor is okay. Thank
I
you.
also want to add, my uncle is a bit of both. He's also humorous and also adventurous. Okay, then over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Misha.
That was a fun response, Sarika, and you're lucky to have adventure and humor together, which is quite a rare combination. And we always have to choose between one. So Lucky you. Moving on, now we come to the most crucial part of our meeting, that is the evaluation. Like I had said before, without proper evaluation, failure is inevitable. After all, the core motive of Toastmasters is not just to enhance your public speaking, but to improve it in a way that helps you become a better version of yourself. So, to avoid failure and to enhance your skills, to make yourself better, we need evaluators. And for that, let me call upon our general evaluator, who will now introduce the other evaluators and take forward the evaluation section. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Misha, and once again, good afternoon to each and every one of you. As the general evaluator for today's meeting, it is my responsibility to give you feedback in three different aspects. The first part of the general evaluation, we will have the speech evaluators who will share the feedback to our speakers of the prepared speech round. The second round, wherein we will have the role players reports, Ramere and our counselor and the timer, so that they share their feedback and each of us get an idea what we have done and how we can improvise the next time. And finally, I shall give you feedback right from the start, which is when the poster was shared, up to the end, which is my segment. So before we begin with the first segment of general evaluation, that is the speaker's speech evaluation, I would request timer to please go ahead and share the timing guidelines, mention the grace period as well for the speech evaluators. Over to you, Toastmaster Brajesh.
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Akshay. For speech evaluation, the time allocated is 2 to 3 minutes. So qualifying time is 2 minutes is when I'll show the green card. The target time is 2 minutes 30 seconds when I'll show you the yellow card. The maximum time is 3 minutes when I'll show you the red card. For speech evaluation, we have a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Thank you. So for our first speaker, it's the speech title, Life is a Circus. Please have me welcome speech evaluator Toastmaster Ashwin onto the stage with a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Ashwin, audio video check as well as time card check, and then please begin with your evaluation.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Can I start? Okay, so I'm starting. Okay. So Toastmaster Engelbert gave a very good speech on the circle of life is a circus. I think so in the beginning, he started with a question, and that's a very good way of starting a speech. Even in the advent, before the advent of the speech, he was all smiling, right? So, and when he started, the topic was very joyful, I would say, or exciting. And with the first question he took me all the way in the circus to the circus where I could visualize myself going to a circus with my parents, and then lately again going to the circus with my daughter. The question and okay, so the storytelling I could easily visualize and imagine myself in the circus. So he took me right into the circus, which was a very good part of the speech. He explained the speech title properly. He also had a good analogy of a clone juggling the balls with the thoughts in our minds. Right. He also used good words like devil's advocate and explained the two parts, the two thoughts, positive thoughts as well as the negative thoughts. Overall, this speech has a good content. It was basically how he implemented the project where he took the orphanage boys to the circus and how he collected money. If you ask me about the improvements, the first thing I would say is like he started with a question, but he allowed audience to answer it. Now, in a speech where you have a limited time, you were lucky that the audience didn't took much time about answering. But I would I would say you could have done the way Ravi Raj did. He asked a question and then he could expect what the audience would answer, right? You could have said, "Have you been to the circus?" and pause a bit there and say, "Oh, did you enjoy the colors there? Did you enjoy the clone with the juggling balls? Did you enjoy the lightings there?" All the answers that you could expect from the audience, you could have said it from yourself itself, right? Second part is second improvement, I think, is like your purpose was how you planned the project. And I think there you could have given some tools, some techniques of how you approach the donors for the charity. What were your pitch for them? Like, why do you want to take the orphanage boys only to the circus and not just give them some gift or some items that they can use in the studies, or they can use it in the regular life, right? Third thing I would say is because it was a circus, you could have given a chance for some body language, like some vocal variety, or you could have dressed it up like a clone. Overall, it was a good speech. I think you were very good with interactive storytelling. If you can improve upon few things like not giving chance audience to speak, I think that would be a better speech. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, evaluator Ashwin. Let us go ahead with our second speech, the icebreaker, delivered by Ravi Raj. So I would request our second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Tanmay, to do the audio video check and proceed with the speech evaluation once I should.
Am I audible and visible? Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Tanmay, you can start. Yeah. So good morning, good afternoon, Toastmasters. Today I have the pleasure of evaluating our Toastmaster Raviraj's first speech, that is his icebreaker speech. And I still remember the day I gave my icebreaker speech, although he was not my evaluator, but he came up to me after the speech and saying that how well I spoke and how I finished my speech just on time. So it really helped me gain confidence very early on, since it was my very first speech. So I hope I do justice to this evaluation, first of all. And so going to the purpose of the icebreaker speech is to introduce oneself to the audience and provide a glimpse into their life. And I think Toastmaster Ravi Raj did a wonderful job in, walking us all through his journey. So first of all, a very good start. He started with a question like, "What will you like to be? Either you like to be a beautiful and a smart person, or an ugly and smart person." And then he just like I'm so sorry. Just like Ashwin said, right, without asking the audience and waiting for audience to respond, he himself assumed that that way he was, he saved his time for the content. Organization wise, the speech was very well structured. He had a very good start at the between. He had a very good content to speak about. Then the good things which I liked about his speech is, he at different points at his speech, he asked the audience. So that made us think, to some extent, like what is happening and how his journey, how is taking us through his journey. I also like the way he divided the speech, space between two characters, wherein he asked like, "What is your favorite hobby?" And the second person, he showed that studying is my hobby. Then he spoke about his love for maths and aptitude and how he cracked exams, which formed as a basis for his speech. Then he talked about the roadblocks, where he talked about his disease, skin disease, vitiligo, and depression. And then that point of time, he just paused. I thought, maybe he was actually sad or something, but he just paused, and I was thinking to myself, like, is he going to cry or something? So that was the impression. That was the impression I had, and that was the intensity of his speech. Other thing I like is I like the way he quoted Sunil Chetri in his speech. So you get an extra brownie point because Sunil Chetri is my personal favorite. And he reduced voice tone to express sadness, which is another good thing. Things that he can work on is long pauses. Maybe he wasn't prepared. Only practice can help. And maybe if it was in the physical environment, he would have given a much better speech. And all in all, it was a wonderful speech, and I'm hoping to listen to many such speeches from him. Over to you, Toastmaster. Sorry, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Tanmay. I request the timer to please present the timing taken by our speech evaluators.
Sure, General Evaluator Akshay. Both the evaluators, Toastmaster Ashwin and Toastmaster Tanmay, have qualified. Toastmaster Ashwin has taken 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Tanmay has taken 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
Thank you, Timer Brijesh. Let us go ahead with our second segment of the general evaluation round, which is the reports by our tag team. Timer has already present. Let us go ahead by calling out the R counter to present the R counter report. Toastmaster Seconder, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator Akshay. I'll be presenting my screen to showcase the report for the counter report. So the SAS for today, Brijesh used 2 filler words and 2 crutch words and repeated 1 word. Sudha ma'am used 1 filler word, followed by Misha using 1 filler word and 1 crutch word, followed by the first speaker Engelbert using 3 filler word sounds and 1 crutch word, and the icebreaker speech by Raviraj used 3 filler sounds and 4 crutch words and 1 filler phrase. Then Misha again presented as a team mod and had 1 filler sound, followed by Shreyansh, who was the Toastmaster of the day, who used 3 filler sounds, 2 crutch words, 1 filler phrase. Ravi Raj again presented himself as the first speaker for the table topic session. So he had 2 filler sounds, 1 crutch word and 1 filler phrase. Ashwin had used 1 filler sound, 1 crutch word and 1 filler phrase. Brijesh again used 1 filler sound and 2 crutch words. Misha, who also presented, went on to in the table topic session, used 2 crutch words. Engelbert used 2 filler sounds and 1 crutch word, followed by Akshay using 1 filler sound. Sarika Indian presented as the last table topic speaker, used 1 crutch word. For Ashwin and Tanmay, in the end I was mesmerized, so I just missed out the thing. So, but in all, I guess they used 2 or 3 filler sounds and words in total. So yeah, over to you, General Value Akshay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sikandar. Let us go ahead with the grammarian of the day to present the grammar report. Over to you, Toastmaster Tanmay.
Hey, hi, Akshay. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, that's the theme been so wonderful. At times I was lost, and this is the first time I'm taking up the grammarian's loan. So at times I just forgot, and I just wanted to enjoy the speeches. So I forgot to write down, but I've noted down few things. Okay. So the word of the day was Advent, and the people who used the word of the day correctly were Misha, Raviraj, Brijesh, Akshay, and Ashwin. Some wrong usage where I think someone used before I go to life is a circus, where life is a circus was the title of the speech. So you can write before I go to, or before I move on to the title of the speech, that is life is a circus. Second thing is animals are only dog. Instead of that, you can use the only animals that I saw in a circus was only dogs. Third thing was all of them have never seen a circus. So I think the speaker was trying to point this thing in the past. So he can use none of them had never seen, or none of them had ever seen a circus. Then someone used juggle of thoughts. Instead, he can use battling inner conflicts or battling inner thoughts. The fourth thing was reach the title Toastmaster of the month. So instead, I mean, the speaker was trying to point out to the award that we are going to we are starting from next month, which is Toastmaster of the Month. Instead, he could have used achieve the title Toastmaster of the Month. Someone used borrow a thought from Ikigai. So instead, he could have used I'll quote a thought from book Ikigai. Some good usage of quotes or words where true stories have never good endings. Read the book cover to cover, speak volumes. I think Akshay did a wonderful job in describing the beautiful Trivandrum, where he said green lustful lawns to describe the beauty of Trivandrum, of course. Apart from that, some good uses of words were ecstatic, acquainted, and infatuation. That's it. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you, Tanmay. One thing is pending, I believe, is the table topics timing report. So I would request Tanmay Brajesh to please present the same.
Sure. Thank you, General Evaluator Akshay. I'll just share my screen because we had a lot of table topic sessions. Yes. So everyone who was part of table topic have qualified. Toastmaster Raviraj took 1 minute 20 seconds. Yours truly took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Ashwin took 1 minute 35 seconds. Toastmaster Misha just qualified with 1 minute. Toastmaster Engelbert took 2 minutes 11 seconds. Toastmaster Akshay, I mean, kudos to you for planning your table topic speech to the T, at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Sarika took 1 minute 54 seconds. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brajesh. Let us dive into the report by me. As per the time, ideally the general evaluator summary should start at 12:58. So we are well 8 minutes ahead of the agenda which I had received. So kudos to all of us being within the time, which is evident from the part all of us are qualified. The first part which I really loved was the poster as well as the agenda and the meeting links were shared. The meeting venue was also shared. After some time we had to shift the venue, but no worries. The meeting link came in time. I was able to join right from the start. Although I would share that at start, only 3 of us were there at 11. So I would encourage all of the members, in case you're planning to join in a Zoom meeting, try to join by at least 10:45, such that everyone is within. You can network, you can discuss about your progress, or you can discuss about Toastmasters or anything else which you have learned, so that this platform can become a platform wherein you can collaborate and share your ideas. Then move into the meeting. Meeting started at 11:03, so 3 minutes late we started. In fact, 3 minutes late, it was reminded that the meeting is late, but we started a lot later. But although we are at 8 minutes ahead of the agenda, so I believe it's all right. Next, the Surgeon General mentioned the mission statement very clearly. The guidelines were mentioned. Recording can be paused if asked, so that was mentioned. Apart from that, Surgeon General invited the presiding officer and mentioned Distinguished Toastmaster Award, as well as called out the member as Toastmaster. So just clarify between the two, because both of the terms are different. And I believe Sudha is yet to become Distinguished Toastmaster. So you can mention as a Toastmaster. Otherwise, Surgeon Ram did a job well. So kudos to you. Next, let's go to the presiding officer, Sudha. He ensured she built up curiosity by sharing a personal story connected to the theme. So that was done very well. And what I would suggest, only one feedback in the speech was when she mentioned about what she's expecting, what the love would be, and then she broke the ice, broke the mystery that the love was a person. She could have elongated it a bit more and connected somehow to Toastmasters. That would have mentioned how this platform is something which we can be curious about and continue to explore. And if we give the love to it, we shall receive the love back in terms of learning. That is something which we can mention, so that highlight of how Toastmasters help. Although I could not find any guests, we didn't have any guest productions that we can say. Next, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Misha. She had the theme of love. She ensured that the theme is spoken about. She mentioned about a personal anecdote connected to the presiding officer story of the first job, and then went ahead to describe the meeting structure, invited all the 3 role players. So kudos to you. One thing which I would recommend is calling out the grammarian first, so that the word of the day is out, which the timer and the R counter can use. So the timer could easily use the word advent in his mentioning of the objectives of his role, because advent is something to start. And our counter could have also mentioned that today it can be the advent when you do not use any fillers. So these are the places they could have used the word. So let's just call the grammarian, our counter, and timer. That would be the order. Otherwise, you did well. Speech titles in agenda is something else, as well as shared is something else. So we should be mindful of the speech titles and get it reassured from the speaker. Sometimes speaker may have be given some speech title, but after repetitive preparation, they must have felt, no, the speech title is not good. So let us connect with the speakers and get the speech title and introduce in the protocol, which is name, speech title, name, which is same recommendation for the table topic master, because this was missed by Shreyans as well. Right? Let's go ahead to the timer. Jesh, you were doing roles, Sergeant at Arms timers. You did well. You shared the timing guidelines. You mentioned when the grace period is there. Also, one thing, you shared the timing screen. I would recommend there is an option on that if you're using the online timer to disable the time. So by that, what would have happened? I would have definitely overshot in my table topics, but since I was able to see 2:30, I was able to end. So let's practice and inculcate the habit that without the time, by seeing the cards itself, we try to conclude and be on time. Because in a contest or in a physical meeting, you won't be able to see the time. So let's ensure that even one day also, we don't miss out on that part. Otherwise, timer did a good job. He reminded me that the table topic point is missed out. We need to call out. So well done. Kudos to you, Toastmaster British. Our counters, Toastmaster Sikandar, you did well to ensure that the fillers are noted down, the names were noted down. What I would recommend is you can enhance this report, right? So the our counter role, we always seen that we note it down, we address it, that's all. Why not bring some new creativity? You could have highlighted which filler was used the most of the time. Since you were using Excel, you could present it in a graph format. Try to infuse that creativity, because at Toastmasters, we always try to see what things can be done differently. And break your own boundaries, because once you try and enroll, you will try them in the speech. All right, otherwise, our counter, you did well. Toastmaster Tanmay, as a grammarian, you mentioned the word of the day, which was easy to use. You shared examples. One thing I would recommend is sharing the word of the day in the chat, which I believe was missed. Apart from that, you highlighted everyone who used the word of the day. You mentioned the good usages, not so good usages. So kudos to you. Not much feedback for you, just apart from that, mentioning it in the chat. Otherwise, well done. Let's go ahead to table topic master Shreyans. Table topic master Shreyans used this spinning wheel. One thing I would recommend, although this is not something to be to try to practice, but you knew that today timer Brijesh has to share the screen. So a lot of times you are trying to stop sharing the screen and you are trying to share your spin wheel. You can on the spot modify your table topics. Instead of asking, you could just ask them to select a number. Thus, by saving time and giving more opportunities for the members to speak. And the second thing is to mention the protocol. I really loved how after each speech, you summarize the speaker's speech and shared what you felt about the speech. So that is the crucial aspect of table topic master role, because it's not just about giving the topics and listening, but also summarizing. There is a very effective project in the pathway when it comes listening. In that, you have to perform the table topic master role and listen to the speaker and summarize. So kudos to you, Shreyans. If you want to use that role today for that speech, you can very well go ahead and use it. So well done. Let's go ahead to these speech evaluators. So Toastmaster Ashwin, what I really loved about your evaluation, right? You mentioned good usages which were present in the speaker's speech. And you also used the word of the day. You mentioned how he started, what was you connected with the title. You mentioned the good analogy and what you really felt. The recommendations which you mentioned, right? You mentioned the question and answering the speaker should have answered, but you did not mention why. Although the time, I felt the speaker took enough time, he ended his speech on a very smooth note. There was not rushed. So if in case you are mentioning this recommendation, mention why made you feel that the answer could be answered by the speaker. Because most of the time he, in fact, did go ahead. For me, it was a commendation because he went ahead and asked the audience, took in their response and included it in his speech. So in case if you felt otherwise, you could have mentioned why. So that why part was missing in that thing. But definitely kudos to you for second recommendation, which is like techniques, why donors of charity, because this was manage a project successfully. And when we are talking about this project, the project objective was to share about his experience, and this experience could have been something which could have helped other speakers in the club to know when they are going ahead with this project what they can do differently. So definitely a very good recommendation. You summarized it well. One thing which I would recommend you apart from the recommendations is to follow a structure. Share a personal example of what you took from this speech, right? You mentioned you were teleported back to the circus with your parents. So make it a highlight, then share what kind of structure you will use, how many commendation points would be there, how many recommendation points would be there, and then summarize. So this will help you have a very defined structure and useful for further speech evaluation contest or even giving a refined evaluation. Otherwise, you did well. Let's go ahead with our second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Tanmay. Now, Toastmaster Tanmay, you shared what icebreaker speech is all about. You started with a personal anecdote about your own experience of icebreaker, and then you mentioned how the speaker walked, how Raviraj walked through his journey. What did you like about the speech, the structure, and you made the audience to think. So these points were mentioned. You also mentioned that during depression, he paused. There was a dip in his voice, so the intensity of the speech was in fact great. You also said that there was a pause, and you mentioned that you were expecting something out of it. So that is a very good way to frame the recommendation, because in case the speaker really paused, he needs to work upon it so that that long pause is not there. But in case he paused due to the emotional intensity, well, that is all right, because when he is delivering something so personal, it is bound to happen. Connected with that reduced voice tone to express sadness, you mentioned long pauses were required in the speech and practice. All right. These you could have elaborated why and where. Although it's the first speech of the icebreaker, where you felt this would be. So whenever we are mentioning the recommendation, we should mention what, where in the speech, why did you felt, and how it will enhance the speech. In case if we are in a physical aspect or in a meeting, demonstrate it also. These 5 things makes the recommendation point on, and it gives you a very concise remarks over there. So well done, Toastmaster Tanmay. All right, so let's go ahead to the, since we have time, I would also give the individual feedback to the table topic speakers. The first table topic speakers I met was Raviraj, who shared about his love for his favorite song. He mentioned the song, he mentioned why it is favorite. But I would have loved if you could have added the song lyrics and try to give that feel, okay, so that everyone could go back in their memory and recollect that song, so that they connect with the song and they get more engrossed in your speech. Otherwise, well done, well structured table topics. Kudos to you. Second, Rajesh, your question was extremely well paying job or something which you're passionate about. I loved the point which you brought about ikigai, but you could have said one thing or give an example, whether you are already in your career early start and have been part of an extremely well-paying job, or you have been in your career for a long time and you've already experienced a well-paying job, what it was, what was your experience, and now you're into something which is passionate. You shared a speech which was generic. Try to make it specific such that it becomes concrete and audience doesn't need to go here and there. They can focus on your content. Otherwise, well done, Brijesh. Toastmaster Ashwin, the crush on the celebrity whom and how you would meet. So you shared about Deepika Padukone, you brought it, everyone smiling. So kudos to you. You brought that element of smile on everyone's face. Given the meeting theme of love, you got in the elements, happiness, and you shared. So the only element which I missed was when you would meet her, what would you do? What would your expressions be? So there was a opportunity to express this on your face, vocal language, facial gestures, all these could have been there, and that could be a challenge for you. Right? Toastmaster Misha, love letter for your favorite food. So she started with mentioning that she's a foodie who is blogging on Instagram. She gave a context about her, so their context added credibility that she can definitely speak about food. Then she started her love letter, which was to people. Why? She mentioned one crucial point, that is doing justice to her taste buds. So that was the crucial highlight of her speech. But what I felt was there were a lot of points which went in a circular loop and kept repeating. So you could have directly started with like a love letter. How you write a love letter, right? You could have started with that. You could have included your theme. love for Pani Puri and kept a Pani Puri a mystery in the love letter, and only in the end of your speech just really bring that, okay, the love person was Pani Puri. So that would give a definitely an interesting twist and a curiosity to your speech. Angel Bird, the inspiring book and why you loved it. You shared about Are You Out of Your Mind? It speaks about personality and why you really loved it. So that was mentioned. What you can do is try to spark and that curiosity within other members, whether they would like to read that book. That was something which I felt was missing from his. My speech, I evaluated. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but Toastmasters has released this interesting tool, which is Udly, which analyzes your own speech. So I had put up that tool for myself, and I got a feedback that the word usages, there were repetition of ideas and repetition of words in my speech. So when I was sharing about Munar was repeated almost 10 plus times. So already when I shared about my favorite awe-inspiring location, it should have been just once or twice, not more. So that is a recommendation on my part. So I'll explain later how you all can utilize Udly, and that is something which you all should do because that tool is accessible to you all, and it is a free tool which is accessible to Toastmasters. That is something which you start. Sarika, your speech title was going on a date with most humorous or adventurous person. You brought both together. You shared about how adventurous you are. You got in the humorous and adventurous part. You could have painted a picture of a character, all right? You could have, since it is a speech, right? You can go anywhere. If you knew any personality or any hero who's adventurous as well as humorous, you could have brought him over here and given that Hollywood aspect to it, taking everyone back into a movie, and everyone would have felt that they are watching a movie and experienced that. That is something which we can take care of. Otherwise, the meeting is well as per time. I really loved the segment which was VP Education came in between and shared about the Toastmasters program and how he described it well. So that was well done. I would encourage VP Education to add an element of how we are faring on the Distinguished Club program as well, how we are doing on DCP goals, so that all members become stakeholders and they are aware that here we are and this is how we contribute, and they can help you plan better so that the DCP goal is also well aligned and following a good timeline. All right, so these were the few things which I really loved. And now I would, since we have time, because it is 1:08 when I need to hand it over to Toastmaster of the day for closing remarks, I'll just show you how you can use the Udly platform by sharing the screen. All right. So this is something which I'll just share. I'll utilize my general evaluation time completely. As you all saw, right? I do not leave even a second. All right. So this is how the platform looks, Udly. All right. So one of the speech evaluations which I recorded on my phone, right? You can directly use a recorded voice. So in your meetings, try to place a camera setup or a recording device setup by VP Education or someone who can record the video or audio and then directly upload over this platform. So it's very easy to upload. As soon as you upload, you get the transcript as well as you can add coach comments. Someone can give feedback. You can have a general evaluation about the clarity, vocal variety. You can tag it. The members themselves can use it for their own account, or the VP Education can do it from their own account. It also gives you word choice. What was the repetition? How many words were there? Whether the R counter was able to capture all of them or not. If not, then the R counter can work upon it. What was the top keywords used? 17 times the speech was mentioned. Audience was mentioned 4 times. Like was used 14 times. So this is Tanmay, your speech evaluation, right? Then counter, how many times you had the fillers, the weak words which were present. From the delivery perspective, what went well, the pacing, what could have been better. There was 175 words per minute. So that is something which we can all take a look at, and you get a lot of different things. In case if you have your video, it also captures your smile, eye contact, and it gives whether you were smiling, whether you had the eye contact with the audience. So this is how you can go ahead and utilize this platform. Udly is directly accessible from your Toastmasters homepage. As soon as you log in, just scroll down. It will come analyze your speeches with Udly. There are a lot of practice which you can do, games such as no filler, how long you can go ahead by speaking without fillers. Then there is the another which is spin a yarn. So words keep popping up and you have to keep connecting the words to keep connecting a story. And the metaphor mania, which is quickly build analogies without letting the pressure affect you. So these are the different games which you can try, which will help you develop your tabletop skills. So that's all from my side, and back to Toastmaster Misha.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thousand times thank you. I am so grateful to Toastmaster Akshay for taking up the general evaluator role and for giving us such a descriptive evaluation. To be honest, this is the most descriptive evaluation I have ever heard in my entire Toastmasters membership for the past 2 years, and it has been very, very, very informative. I will try to inculcate all everything I have learned. I'm glad we have recorded it so that we can use it for future references. It is so good, actually. I would like to share it in a group so that people can actually go to the evaluation and understand how elaborate a evaluation can be, how many points there are where you need to evaluate yourself, need to inculcate a lot of things to make yourself a better speaker. And I'm so thankful to you for taking all the efforts and pain. It shows how much efforts you have taken to evaluate each and every person, every single role, every speech. And it really means a lot to me. I'm so, so glad that you came for the meeting, you stayed, you evaluated everything, you shared your points. And I'm sure everybody resonates with me when I say this. And I thank you on everybody's behalf for being such a great evaluator. Thank you so much, Akshay. Now we move towards the end of the meeting. Uh, I had a poem which I wanted to read out because see, when we talk about love, no matter what love we get from people, the love we get from our mothers is the most unconditional love. The love which has no asterisks, no conditions apply. The most unconditional, the purest form of love is the love we get from our mothers. And I know each and everybody here will actually resonate with me, agree with what I've said. So I have a short poem which I want to read out. This is a very cute, beautiful poem a girl had written. And I was lucky enough to read that poem. I want to share it with you guys. So the poem has been written by Hams Nandini Radhakrishna, and the title is "This is How My Mother Loves." She's stuffing packets of crushed biscuits into my suitcase. In her head, the crumbles led me home. Here and now, her concern lags off my luggage, like stones tied to a paper boomerang. I bite my tongue so as to not complain about the extra baggage. This is how my mother loves. In her head, I'm 7 and running into the sea. She can't grab onto my frock quickly enough, so she traces her toes over my footprints until they bore holes into the ground. Here and now, I do not run. My steps are so measured that they could fit into an hourglass. The sand is too smooth to hold on to any marks. My flip flops may accidentally leak. She has taken me to 17 temples in a single month. In her head, all the divine powers of the universe have formed a secret coalition. Their sole mission is to keep me safe. Here I'm wiping off the kumkum while I think she's not looking. I still don't know how to accept the kind of love that does not have an asterisk sitting right next to it. My mother wears her compassion on her sleeves every morning without an afterthought. With thoughtfulness slips off my arms like a sweater that's too big to fit the rat trap across my chest. If strength could be passed down generations, I would have told her all the ways I would still be here. But now, when I say it'll be all right, I'm not sure who am I talking to. This is how my mother loves. This is the only way she knows how to. She throws in a hesitant hug as we discuss foreign finances and insurance policies. In her head, she holds me so tight that the cities dissolve into each other. She holds on to me so tight that the entire Pacific Ocean could fit into this pressed snow globe on the living room bookshelf.
Here and now she lets me go. In her head, her grip tightens. With that, and the beautiful quote by Rabindranath Tagore, which I personally love, is only in love are unity and duality, not a variance. This is my time, and thank you so much for joining in this beautiful journey of love. I have loved every second of it. Everybody has been an excellent role player. So thank you so much, everyone. And now let me move on to the polls. Are we ready with the polls?
Yes, 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 Misha.
Everyone, I would urge all of you to please take the polls.
Launch the next poll, which is best tag role player. Yeah, next up is best evaluators. Next we have is best of big three.
I think we are done with the polls, Tanmay.
Yes, 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 we're done. I'll quickly share the results as well.
Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. So moving on to our presiding officer, Sudha, will not be joining us. She has left for because she had some work. So me being the team out today, I would like to thank all of you for being excellent role players and taking part and making this meeting a huge success. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday ahead. And I hope to see all of you playing more roles, taking up speeches in the meetings to come. We have a lot of as regular as possible. And I hope you take up your roles, you complete your pathways. We are there for you to help you in any way possible. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are there for you. And please take the polls. And thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And uh, Akshay, would you like to say something?
No, I really had fun. The only thing which, so I will anyways have a discussion with the club officers after the meeting to understand few things. But otherwise, the meeting was fun. Uh, so the number of members today in the meeting, is it less or due to the shift from offline to online is the reason for being less?
No, actually, it's not because the number is not reduced because we shifted to online. It's I think people have not signed in that. And anyways, one thing I know is like February is a season of weddings and a lot of functions. So a lot of people have their prior engagements and have their commitments to make. So perhaps maybe because of that, they might not have shown up. But we are trying our best to get our members to attend the meetings because it is for their own good. We are trying to work out plans and strategies so that they can come, give speeches, because that is what the core values of our Toastmasters Club is. So I hope we have more attendance in the next meeting and many more meetings to come. And I know this was an official meeting for you. You had to come and visit, and we are really thrilled to have you. But not official, but unofficially, you can please come and have like be a part of a club and be an evaluator again, so that more people get to see how actually an evaluation is done.
Sundays,
You can even take a session if you want on evaluation.
Sundays usually I have my own club meetings, which is from 3 to 5 p.m. a lot. So we all meet physically. Sundays are already today it will become 2 Toastmasters. But yeah, I really had fun. I really loved the segment which VP Education speaks in between of the meeting. That is a good thing. Continue to do that. Maybe next time you can speak about the UG. That's a very interesting tool which is there. A lot of Toastmasters in India are not using. I'm not sure why. But if you see the Toastmasters in US, UK, Bahrain, Kuwait, they have been extensively using that tool to enhance their club meeting experience. So I encourage you all to go ahead and use it. And I would love to discuss with the club officers once the meeting concludes.
Sure. Do we have the results, Tanmay?
Sure, sure. So I'll start with prepared speaker, and the winner of prepared speaker is Ravi Raj. Okay.
Thank you so much, all of you. I would like to specially thank Toastmaster Tanmay and Toastmaster Joy for helping me in my speech. Thank you so much.
Next we have is best evaluator, and the winner for which is Toastmaster Ashwin.
Thank you.
We'll be sharing the certificates in a while. Okay. Next we have is best table topic speaker, and winner for which, of course, is Toastmaster Akshay. Then we have best tag role players, and the winner for which is, of course, I mean, this was not expected, but the winner is me. So I'd like to congratulate myself. And for best of big three, and the winner is general evaluator Akshay Singh.
So congratulations to all the winners, and thank you so much for coming and making this Sunday morning a lot more memorable. I hope you all had fun, and I hope to see you all in the next meetings. Thank you so much, and have a great Sunday and a super productive week ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll stop the recording.
Yeah, I think the officer can stay.
Tanmay, you can stop the recording.
Yeah.